Hi, beauties. So, when I first started this journey of seeking to find beauty in my own body, it came after a very long time of feeling the word ugly more strongly as a more powerful force, like it had won. Like, I would feel that way for a very long time, and I started to use the word beauty, and it felt so simple at first, just like, oh, the word beauty. I paused it, so it might have switched perspectives. But I started using the word beauty every day. Like, whenever I would look down and like see some body fat, like you see that little pudge right there, or like you see like a pimple. And the word ugly felt so much louder. Like it was a louder sound. And so I started just looking more at that little bit of belly pudge and saying the word beauty. And I wouldn't say like, there's an overnight full-on shift. Like, you don't get like the results within a couple of days. But I started to hear it a little bit louder. You look at your body part and you're like, thank you for holding the nutrients to keep me alive. That fat is also survival, and beauty started to get louder every day, and like the word ugly was still louder, like it was the loudest sound, and then it would keep shifting every day to where beauty started to get a little bit louder and ugly started to get quieter. And over time, eventually, it kind of became like 50-50. And it took me a little while, and hopefully, hearing that and building a community can make it to where it can go faster for people. Like, oh, there's support. Oh, it's okay to hear these things and move through them and heal as a part of a journey. And sometimes you can even get like physical purges and, your body letting it out. And I think that's part of the process as well, because you get miasms, and there's so much to show that your body can physically hold memories and emotions, and we need to release those in some way or another so you can have physical effects on these. And then one day it felt like beauty and ugly were the same, and it was like, how has this not gotten to the point where it's so much louder? And there was some physical purges, and then after that, beauty started to be the louder word, and ugly started to get quieter, and the sound of it and its power started to be stripped away as beauty became the loudest sound. And eventually beauty was louder, and I could really hear it and feel it, like I was becoming the beauty. And I would look down at that belly fat, and like the word ugly was so quiet. It barely even registered, and it was still a little bit there, and sometimes it would come back. But beauty was a resounding feeling. And it was so incredible, and it is still so incredible because it keeps lasting, and sometimes, of course, it'll come back. But beauty as a word and using it daily starts to shift your body to where it feels that beauty more and more. And I love how just a word and changing your neuronal pathways, because they start to get so automatic that I think we stop hearing them. We stop hearing just how we feel about ourselves, like it runs on auto in the background, and we have to bring it into the light and say, I see you. I see what you're doing to me, and shift those pathways. Like the more you think something, the more you automatically go down that path, and the more you shift it and build a new path. Like if you think of a forest, and like those trails that you see that are man-made, like someone walked down them so many times that created its own path in the forest. And so if you imagine that as like your brain and the pathways that it takes, that it goes on, and then eventually you start to say, I'm gonna make a new path over there, where there's just a little bit, there's a little bit of walking prints, and then eventually you start to forget that other path, and it gets overgrown where the negative words are, and you start to use more and more every time you hear that negativity. You switch paths and you go down the beauty, you go down the self-strength and the self-empowerment, then that road will get stronger, just like your brain pathways. And over time, that'll be the dominant path.